Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Point of Disorder. I'm Adrienne.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Gina.
And it's another week here. We've survived another 7 days since last we came together. So
Another week in Trump's America.
how is everybody coping this week?
So I'm going to be really honest. When I first moved here, I found winters really difficult.
They are hard.
So my husband decided to make me happy was to get a happy lamp.
A lamp.
And I'm like, what the fuck is a happy lamp, right? How is that going to get me through winter? But I realized after a winter or so that it actually works, this fucking lamp. So I'm using the same theory. And now that we have Judge Janine, I am literally, this I want to point out is not alcohol. It is the placebo effect. It's like my happy lamp. So this is how I'm going to drink my sparkling water from now on. If things get really fucking bad, you'll notice there are no more bubbles in it and it's pure gin. Anyway, cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
I
do
love
what you
that
got to
for
do.
you, Julie.
I cannot raw dog it anymore, ladies.
You and Judge Janine. It's
That's it.
perfect. Besties forever. What are you doing?
I went to a comedy show last night. Femmes for Dems did a comedy roast of Donald Trump. And, kind of in the vein of, we better laugh, otherwise we'll be crying in the corner. So let's all just have a good time and just laugh.
And there's so much to laugh at right now. So much.
It was a lot of fun, actually. We had 8 comedians. Curtis Hertel came on and kind of gave the kickoff. And
nice.
he was really funny.
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, it was not on my bingo card for 2025.
He did really well, so I was, thrilled to see him up there. And at the very end, it was kind of funny, because this was all very impromptu. Ellie Savitt, who's the Washtenaw County prosecutor, came on stage with Andy Levin, our former congressman, and did this fake arrest thing.
Oh my God.
It was really funny.
It was hilarious, and I did love the way. And I spoke to Andy afterwards, and he was like, "Yeah, I just thought of that last minute. It was brilliant. It was really, really clever, and topped it off." But the guy that played Trump, he was actually very good.
Oh,
he took a piss in the middle of the set, and I'm not literally on the set. He walked off in the middle of the roast.
I gotta go to the bathroom,
and then brought back drinks for all the comedians.
Yeah.
It was actually lots of fun.
when you get into your 70s and 80s, you have to go.
It's true.
You gotta pee a lot.
The old prostate.
There's a prostate situation.
The comedians were young people. They weren't.
Well, I'm talking about the Trump thing.
No, the Trump himself.
Yeah.
It seemed I'm pretty sure that Trump will be taking lots of pisses
very
during
on brand.
meetings. Yeah.
He should have had a diaper on, Adrian.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
A golden diaper. There's probably a golden diaper that's happening there, for sure. That's great. And, I think I read somewhere Ellie is running for AG.
He launched his campaign 2 days ago. Yeah.
So that's pretty, we'll probably be seeing a lot more of him everywhere. Yeah. I mean, so for me, I'm over here rubbing my face because I can't really think of anything I've been doing that's been
look stressed out.
I know.
I'm a little stressed out. I actually had I've been having a lot of nightmares. I had a zombie apocalypse dream last night that I woke up and I was like, this doesn't feel that far off from reality. I was getting chased by zombies, but it's fine. I think we do have some sparkling wins to go with your sparkling water.
I was just about to offer you some of my placebo martini.
So I would love a placebo martini.
Let's kick the pot off with good news first. Okay.
Please.
Because 2 days ago, a verdict came down in Michigan, and it's about reproductive rights. So, nobody cares about women's health. It didn't get reported on heavily. But this case was kind of the attorneys were saying was almost like the Roe v. Wade of Michigan. Mm-hmm. So what happened was basically, we had Prop 3 pass and it codified our rights in our state constitution. But there were 3 key things that were being held back from us. So it was a huge win for repro rights in Michigan. The judge knocked down 3 restrictions on repro rights. So the first one was the medically unnecessary 24-hour waiting period. That was kind of a big deal. What other surgery do you know? They're like, you know what? You got to just hang on there for 24 hours.
You need to go home and think about that. And in that time, we're going to fucking make sure that you go and
right.
We intervene in some way, which is what was happening.
And not only that, but the 24-hour waiting period, especially for women and people coming from out of state, They didn't realize there was a 24-hour waiting
Right.
period. Some of them didn't have places to go, so they would spend their night in the car,
Exactly.
in parking lots, waiting to get care.
And not even out of state. People don't know that there aren't that many clinics around Michigan.
Yeah.
So
Right.
people traveling from
the
up
UP.
north would have to stay for an extra day or 2
Yeah.
days.
Right.
Costs fucking money.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyway.
I mean, we have, medical deserts in Michigan. Like
do.
Julie said, people driving like
Yeah.
6, 8, 10 hours to get medical care.
For anyone that's not in Michigan, Michigan's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
takes 8 or 9 hours to get to the top of the state
Yes.
from the bottom.
It does. It's a pretty big state.
So the second thing, it was a law forcing patients to sit through bias, misleading counseling. So, we have these fake clinics all over the state, and they're all over the country, places that purport to be, helping mothers make this decision, would have pamphlets with complete misinformation in it.
Let's call it bullshit.
Let's call it lies.
Yeah.
Well, literally, they're showing like almost like a fully developed baby
Yeah.
at like 12 weeks. It's essentially like what they're trying to show you. Like it total bullshit.
Yeah. So we've gotten rid of the faux counseling law. And then the last one was there was a prohibition on qualified advanced practice clinicians to provide first-term abortions. It's an issue because these are the same people that would treat you if you were having a miscarriage in a hospital. They're absolutely qualified to do this. This was just something to limit access. So now you can have these types of clinicians provide an abortion care.
And this whole thing is amazing. And I want to give a huge shout out to friend of the pod, Renee Chellian,
Yeah.
who, if you go back, she was with us a couple of weeks ago. She's a dear friend of ours. And as she was sitting through this entire court case, giving evidence, it was so fucking stressful for her, what it took out of her emotionally and physically. I just want to say, you know what, all this stuff is happening. We don't know about it. These people are fighting for our rights and for our lives and the lives of our daughters and our sons. So it's like the work that Renee's done, I just bow down. Thank you so much, Renee, and we're so proud of you, what you've done
For sure.
in the past and this particular case. It was
Yes.
huge.
Thank you for suing our state, Renee.
I think they also had to sue because the Reproductive Health Act would have repealed a lot of this stuff
Yeah.
a couple years ago. Now, as we know, certain legislators were not fully on board who also call themselves Democrats. So there's a bunch of fucking bullshitters themselves. I also just want to point out that this is why all elections matter.
Yep.
So even our Supreme Court justices who are elected here in Michigan, this is why it fucking matters, because we have justices on the Supreme Court here that know what they're fucking talking about, and they want to leave it to actual medical experts, right?
Cheers to good news, ladies.
Cheers to good news. Now it's all downhill from here.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
So I hope everybody is,
Quick
strapped in, right? Like ready to go. First of all, big news. The Republican budget is revealed, right? So they revealed that the other day. And what's in it?
So, I mean, they're slashing the funding, of course, but in addition to that, they're imposing work requirements on Medicaid recipients, and they're doing biannual registration checks. Basically, they're creating extra barriers
It's
for
just
people.
paperwork, Gina. It's
Yeah.
just creating paperwork. And we all know how difficult paperwork is here.
Paperwork for seniors, disabled, and children.
Yeah.
Exactly. All the people that are, love doing paperwork, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, what I find really funny about this is that Trump and the Republicans have labeled this the one big beautiful bill. And it's in all caps. It's not just the one big beautiful bill. No, it's the one big beautiful bill. Like it's shouting at everybody. If you have to shout about it being a big and beautiful bill, it's probably not
do
going to be
love
that
an
way.
alliteration.
Yeah.
So do I, actually. You and I have that in common. We're always looking at ways.
I mean, you think that's easier? It's easier to digest for MAGAs who are like, oh yeah, this bill's going to totally cut my taxes. It's going to be so great for me. No, motherfucker, it's not going to be great for you. It's going to be super fucking bad for you. Super bad for you.
Well, can we break down what this means here in Michigan? Because it ain't great. We have 2.6 million people in Michigan are served by Medicaid, and that's about 1 in 4 Michiganders. So, and 1 million children. That's, again, the fuck them kids caucus is, right on top of it. 300,000 people in Michigan with disabilities. I mean, it's just gonna. It's also like a huge burden on our hospital system. We're in Detroit right now. Henry Ford is, 5 minutes away. 30% of their patients are on Medicaid.
Yeah.
So you're going to be bankrupting hospitals in rural communities and urban communities where it's already hard to get health care in these places.
And at the same time, is they're cutting back regulations on what we eat and what we drink and all that sort of stuff, which is more likely to push us into the fucking system.
Are
Sorry,
you
let's
saying
point that out.
If we eat bad beef, we might have to go to the hospital more,
I don't
Julie?
I know, we think too much.
Yeah.
We think
These
too
things
much.
take these things make too much sense.
Did you guys know that like public schools rely on Medicaid too?
In what
No
way?
idea,
I did not
no.
know that.
Yeah, this is like not something that people are talking about, but like their services like speech therapy, mental health counseling, occupational therapy, like nursing care, especially like the care for kids with disabilities and low income care. That's all funded through public schools, through Medicaid. So, bye. This is how we hire health professionals to come into school, purchase medical equipment for schools to have on hand, fund like basic school-based health programs. Like, bye-bye to all of it. It's, it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
It is.
It subsidizes, what we spend on our public schools through our property taxes. So
I mean, it looks like they're really just trying to shift a lot more burden onto the states as well. It looks like they're basically taking SNAP, which is the Supplemental Nutrition and Assistance Program, and they're like, okay, states, you can fucking figure that out. Like that's food aid for people in lower income or lower incomes, right? They want the states to pick up 75% of those administrative costs. Like, the party of Jesus, the party of Jesus is my brother, is sure like let's kick them all while they're down.
But there is, around that, there's also some sort of irony because if you think about it, the states that are the poorest are the red states, and they're the ones that are going to find it most difficult to be able to fill these gaps.
Right.
Surely.
Sorry about it, Mississippi.
Yeah.
You're going to stay
Alabama, sorry.
like literally the worst state in the nation. Hope you're happy about it. This is what you voted for. You don't get your Medicaid and SNAP anymore.
Well, okay. Speaking of health stuff, can we just for a second talk about the fact that Trump is basically stealing Bernie Sanders' plan to lower prescription health costs? Like he literally is like,
But he's just saying it.
He's copying from Bernie how he's going to lower our pharmaceutical costs. It's ridiculous.
But the funniest part, I'm sorry, you're absolutely right. He stole from Bernie, but the most important part about this, Gina, is the fact that the only person in the world that could push him that way was his fat billionaire friend that was visiting London. So he didn't listen to Bernie.
Let's play the clip
Play the
because this is a banger.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
I mean, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. A highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. And he called me up, and he said, President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy, very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. Said, President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said,
It's not working.
He said, I just paid $88, and in New York I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on?
Because it's a billionaire and he's upset.
A friend of mine.
So I legit thought he was talking about himself for a while, and people on Twitter were putting this video into Grok saying who's the fat friend, and Grok was coming back saying it was Elon Musk. So I don't know.
Taking Ozempic,
Musk
right?
or Trump. Who's the fat friend?
Well,
I think he's talking about himself.
What's going on with Trump? Every time I hear him open his mouth, is just slower and more garbled. Did he have a fucking stroke or something?
You know what? I think we're just getting. I think it's just we're just part of the process,
Okay,
right? We're hearing
it's-
him more.
God. So this very, very top guy
Who's highly neurotic
and
and very fat.
I'm very rich.
is very rich. So he's a very wealthy man who's pissed off that he's got to pay, I'm not $1,300
for
for
his drug.
his
Which
fat
then
drug.
turned into it was the fat shot and then the fat pill and then the fat drug. It's like, I don't know what
I
the
mean,
fuck
never
he's
mind the
taking.
fact that, people are using Ozempic to lose weight now, and it's actually like a diabetic, people with diabetes are not able to get this drug because it's so in demand for people who are overweight now. But the fact that Trump is trying to co-opt, what Bernie's been saying for years, it's one thing though for him to say it because it appeals to a mass audience. It's quite another thing for him to actually implement policy or want policy that's actually going to help anybody.
No, you're absolutely right. 2 weeks ago, he said he's going to, fund our jets at Selfridge. We haven't seen a dime yet. So
And a week ago, he said he was going to tax the rich. Like this guy fucking flips.
he's already taken that back.
Right,
Julie.
with his big, beautiful bill. It's like making his tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans permanent.
Exactly. And he's paying for it by taking, health care from children and disabled people.
And food.
And and I think back to the
And mental health care.
Right. You don't need those things.
Back to the pharmaceuticals. I'm sure everyone in the world knows that Americans pay a shit ton more for pharmaceuticals than what the rest of the world does. This is nothing new. People have been crossing the border to go to Canada to get their fucking
To
drugs
get their
for
fat
years.
pills. Their fat
Sarah
injections.
Palin can see Russia from her backyard. We can see Canada from our window.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
There's the bridge over there.
So I think and this is just another case of him turning around and blaming that America is we are so treated so badly by the rest of the world.
So poorly.
So poorly.
Yes,
So poorly.
the worst.
Oh my God, it's fucking unbelievable.
But we are the wealthiest hegemony nation in the world.
And
We're the wealthiest, but we die the fastest.
Yeah.
But we pay the most for our health care.
And it's because we have a for-profit healthcare fucking
Right.
system. Like, let's talk about the real issue here. The elephant in the room is the reason he's going to his fat mate is going to London.
His fat mate.
His fat mate is going to London to fucking smooze off their fucking public healthcare system. That's
Right.
basically what happened.
Well, I mean, we've talked about Australia before, too, and your healthcare system and how the government has a vested interest in keeping you healthy. Our system here is capitalistic beyond belief, right? So the system here is invested in keeping you sick
Exactly.
as possible. Whatever that's the food that you eat, telling you you're a horrible fucking person and you need to go, get a trainer and all that other shit. Like, we're going to keep you feeling terrible and down, and we want you to die sooner because essentially it's the system that we're in. And he's okay with these things until it affects like another billionaire buddy of his, which I'm not going to do the math on that, but $65 compared to $1,300. $1,300 for a fucking billionaire is nothing, right? It's absolutely nothing. So I don't know. How is RFK Jr. going to fix all this for us, though? How is he going to fix it?
Well, he's going to take the poor people and not let them get soda anymore on Snap.
Maybe he'll have them swimming in sewage-filled creeks as well.
That's just for his friends and family. Don't be silly, Adrian. Only they get to get the brain-eating amoeba.
Like, if only we would be so lucky. Like, okay. RFK Jr.
If he wants to know how he got that first brain worm, I mean, look no further than the video of him bathing in a creek that's known to have sewage in it.
Yeah. But it looked clean. It's fine.
You can't see the amoebas.
You can't
They're
see
microscopic.
They are microscopic. That's how they get into your brain.
Yes.
You two are getting far, far, far too deep into
I
this.
think we are. And Norris is telling us to wrap this the fuck up and that we need to move on. So we got to talk about like the big news story of the week that I think everybody's been talking about, the crybery of the week.
So what is crybery? Last week, Julie coined the term.
Yeah, we want to get it going.
Crime/bribery.
Crybery.
It's crybery now.
That was just my poor articulation, quite honestly, but I do love it. And I feel like we need
We're keeping it, Julie.
we're at the point when we need a crybery ticker, right?
Yeah.
There's so many of these things. We should have a ticker. You've got your days till the end of the presidency ticker. We need a crybery ticker.
My days till the end of the world, because that's what it feels like. So our crybery of the week was, drum roll please,
$400 million jet from a country that enabled 9/11. I don't know.
And gives money to Hamas.
Yeah.
And I just want to point out it was Qatar. Yeah,
Yes.
so it's Qatar.
Qatar.
So, who are enemies of Saudi Arabia. That's the irony of all this shit.
Right.
Is these people don't even like
Like
each
each other.
Like
No.
there's so much.
But the
Anyway.
mastermind of 9/11, hid there.
Yeah, hid there. And that's where Hamas is based.
Right. and the government allows it. They're like, yeah, come on
on
in.
over.
We'll keep you safe here.
But here you go. Okay,
But-
so they gifted Trump.
a $400 million plane. The photos are online. It's golden inside.
It's got a golden toilet, I'm sure.
It's gilded from
Right.
floor to ceiling. There's this weird bright blue carpet. It's as tacky as it can be. So, Trump just loves it.
Well, we know that Trump has a hard-on for his jets. We know that his Trump jet that he was flying around last year.
It's in bad shape.
Yeah.
Julie and I saw it on the tarmac at a MAGA rally in, where were we? Howell or something?
Somewhere,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I try and block
We
that
talked about
stuff
this
out.
last year.
Yeah.
We talked about this last year.
Exactly. Because we went and we're in this little airport, and I'm like, what the fuck is hanging off the side of his plane? And it was, his original Trump plane. I took a photo, circled what I'm like, is like, okay, that it looks like it was duct taped back together. That can't be okay.
We thought it was duct tape.
Yeah.
We honestly thought it was duct tape. We're like tweeting away saying, this is duct tape.
Yeah, so I posted it on Twitter, and I was like, does anyone know what this is? And all of these aviation experts came on, and they're like, it's called speed tape. And basically, you put it on your plane to hold it together until, you have time to go get repairs. So
Right.
His plane was covered in speed
His
tape.
757 is covered in speed tape. It's being held together by duct tape, a wink, and a prayer. So of course he's going to want a $400 billion jet that Qatar put together for him. He toured the jet in February.
No, it's not even. They've been using that fucking jet for 10 years.
Yeah.
It's an old Boeing.
Yeah.
So first of all, a little embarrassing that he's getting a gift which is actually made in America. Like, anyway, whatever. Put that aside. But seriously, I want to ask you guys a serious question. Do we really think that this plane? I mean, I'm assuming that a country, the only country in the world that does not allow their presidents and to basically fly into another country and use someone else's helicopters, right?
Right.
America's the only country that demands that they have their own. They take
Right.
Marine, whatever it's called,
It's
the
for
helicopter.
fucking
To
security
me-
purposes.
Exactly. So we take security very seriously here in America, but we are very happy to take a fucking plane from a, let's call it basically.
Terrorist government?
Thank
Yeah.
you very much, Gina.
Yeah.
Much easier for you to say. Thank you very much. We're happy to do that.
Yeah.
And we think that that's going to be. Look, I'm assuming that they don't just pop a golden toilet in there and add a Kevlar fucking vest to it. And it's
No.
all good to go in terms
No,
of
it's going to need
security.
billions of dollars worth of
Yeah.
retrofitting from the Department of Defense. And I mean, that's pushing aside the fact that this is a complete ethics violation, like a massive ethics violation.
Darling, you need to move on from that because
I know. but, like, I mean, Hillary
you
Clinton,
get too stuck
but
on
her
laws.
emails. Hillary Clinton had to return a $500 necklace that was a gift
Yeah.
from some other government.
Bangladesh gave her
Bangladesh.
a $450 necklace. It was lovely.
Yeah, she had to give it back.
Secretary of State, and up in arms.
So what I've
over
been
that.
seeing on in the social sphere about all of this stuff is like people are replacing the words Trump with Obama. And it could you fucking imagine how people on the right's brains would have just melted right out of their skulls if Obama had done any of this type of shit.
He should have, man. He should
He
have.
really, I'm sure he's looking back now and going, God
It's
damn
so
it.
bad though that the MAGAs are starting to turn on him a little
Right,
bit.
just a little bit, though.
People like Ben Shapiro and Laura Loomer out there on social media just being like, no.
This is too far.
Yeah.
This is not the grift I signed up for. I signed up for racism
Right.
and tax breaks. I did not sign up for you to get $400 million planes.
So I do want to say I feel like this is all a little bit of a rouge, and mainly because we've been talking about the grift since the very beginning, right?
Yeah.
So let's be serious, a $400 million plane when he's getting billions of dollars into this fucking crypto thing, really? First of all, is it going to be ready before, like, is it ever going to be used as Air Force One? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be ready before then. So I think that's kind of like pop that to the side. This is just going to be a freebie for when he eventually leaves office. But on top of that, I mean, I'm happy that people are now taking notice because it seems that they didn't care about the billions of dollars of fucking crypto and everything else that's going on, like America being for sale. But all of a sudden, because it's a fucking plane, they're all getting excited and talking about, including Ben Shapiro and Laura Loomer. But I just think this is kind of just all a big, here it is. And what I'm scared of, and I'm probably going to be proven wrong here, but I just want to mark it down. I'm scared because everyone's taking notice of this, that he's going to turn around and say, oh, you know what? It's not the right thing to take this.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to go, oh, he's clean after all. In the meantime, he's still accepting, like I said before, the Saudis, Qatar, UAE they're having a grift off at the moment in terms of how much money can we throw to this prick to basically buy him. So I am concerned that people are going to be distracted.
Well, just like 2 days ago, he's doing this whole Middle Eastern tour. He decided to lift the sanctions on Syria.
Yes.
Shortly after the new president announces that he wants Trump to build a Trump Tower in Damascus.
Yes.
Exactly. All this is happening and no one's taking notice. They're too busy worrying about the plane. And I think that might happen.
Yeah.
Can I just have a little laugh for a minute and then we'll go back to whatever. But at the end of his speech, like his whole session in Saudi Arabia, they had the whole speech. He fell asleep.
Oh,
he fucking fell asleep.
The stroke.
And then at the end, they played YMCA.
Really?
I'm kidding you fucking not. They actually did. It's like,
That's
oh my God.
fucking
this is
amazing.
Just embarrassing.
They are just like whatever dumb shit he likes, they're giving it to him. They know that he plays YMCA at all of his rallies and they know he loves his McDonald's. So they've got like this McDonald's truck parked outside of where he's staying. I mean, there is McDonald's in Saudi Arabia. There's like over 100 McDonald's locations, but they give him his own like mobile McDonald's to follow him around.
Just in case he needs a Big Mac.
They may have
Keep eating the Big Macs.
They may have popped one. They might be popping one into the plane as well.
Oh, that's fine. Let's just keep shoving McDonald's down his gullet. I am okay with that.
I gotta say though, like McDonald's Coke is cool to like just the right temperature. I'm slightly addicted myself, so I get it. And like
I can't
the
eat
fries,
it. None of that shit I can eat.
McDonald's
hash browns.
Good.
I will eat their hash browns. I will give a plug for their hash browns all day long. I will order 4 of those. Okay, so I do have a question, right? So Trump is playing dictator on his Middle East tour, picking up crypto shit and planes and making deals for the Trump family. Okay, my question for you all. What do you want to be bribed with? You're the new American dictator, okay? What do you want? What America's for sale? What bribe do you take?
I feel like this is like a go big or go home situation.
Want to hear it?
I would want my own private island. Somewhere international waters where nobody could extradite me anywhere or like take me anywhere. I can make my own rules. Mm-hmm. I'd want my own private island, like maybe in the Maldives. I don't know.
That sounds lovely. Give me my own fucking island. Leave me the fuck alone when I'm done.
A plane isn't going to do it. I want an island, but I want an island with infrastructure already on it. I don't want to have to deal.
You need the plane to get to the island. So you do need the plane. That's just like a tactical accessory.
The island needs a runway on it. Yeah. I want a fully operational island.
Mm-hmm.
I want the island
with a missile defense on it.
I want the island minus the runway. I don't want people to be able to come and visit me, quite honestly.
So
I'll
you're
just
take
the people
boat.
I want. I'm just taking the people I want there. I don't want to be annoyed. I'm very much in the and I also want bottomless fucking champagne.
Bottomless champagne, tariff-free.
Tariff-free and just to and I want no media, no social, I want to know nothing. I just want to sit there. I'm
Internet blackout. So your island is going to have a tad North Korea feels to it.
Don't care.
Does everyone have the same haircut?
Correct. Exactly.
Just big pictures of Julie everywhere.
That's it. That's what I'm going for. You're right. That's what I'm going for.
Kim Jong
Dictator
Julie.
That's it. Hey, DJ, if you don't mind.
Oh, DJ. I love this.
But yeah, that's what I want. I think that's pretty much what I'm looking for. And I
I don't think you guys are thinking big enough. I want the fuck off this rock altogether. So if I
Okay.
got I've got Elon Musk
my
and
God.
Jeff Bezos. They're both in my pocket. I want you to find the technology, build it as rapidly as you can, that I can just go live in space. I don't need to go to Mars.
Jeez.
I don't need that. I just want a massive spaceship that I can use to travel all over the fucking place that I want. I mean, haven't you guys ever seen Don't Look Up? Did you ever see Don't Look Up?
Yeah.
That's what I want. I'm Meryl Streep in Don't Look Up, but I don't want to land
I'm
anywhere
getting
and get
Katy
eaten
Perry
by natives.
vibes right now. So you just want to be floating around
Skip
out
the
there.
daffodil. Let me give you a tip. Skip the daffodil.
Get me the fuck out of here altogether. I want a luxury spaceship.
Okay.
That's what I want, right? Okay, so we're all American dictators now. We're going to get what we want. Again, me and my Elon Musk, economic plan that I've got to live my best life. That's where that's going to come in. So now we've got some folks who are going to be coming over here.
That's okay. Another Trump win. He has eased.
Oh my
He has
God.
eased refugee restrictions for a certain group of people, which is lovely, right? Everybody on this pod thinks immigrants make America great. He eased restrictions for white South Africans because he's claiming that they're being murdered and there's a genocide there.
Calling them refugees? I mean, you are fucking kidding me. I mean, immigration, yeah, we are all, but the whole thing is just, I feel like my take on this, he's worried about his poll numbers and he needs to basically get the MAGA numbers up.
Well, let's bring the white people in.
This is the
right?
Elon Musk friends and family
Discount, exactly.
infusion of MAGA
Yeah.
votes. But the funny thing was, so the first plane load of them arrived on Monday morning. There were 59 of them, and there were photos that were released that had been taken at the airport when they arrived. And I mean, if you put these photos next to photos of actual refugees who are getting here with just like the shirt on their back and maybe a backpack at most, these people have luggage carts with like 4, 5, 6 suitcases.
Fucking
each
Louis
on them.
Vuitton.
Yeah, I mean, these are not, people fleeing, right? They clearly had plenty of time to pack all their shit up and put it on a plane.
They
That's
arrived
right.
just like me with all of my suitcases.
I'm here.
With
I'm
a case
here.
of wine on
Case
your
of
lap.
wine. I know, that's right. I sat on my lap all the flight over
I mean,
here.
you have to kind of go back to apartheid in South Africa, right? And I don't know all my South African history, so please excuse me. But these are people who they're claiming they're being discriminated against because land is being redistributed to the actual native people of South Africa that they fucking illegally colonized and stole.
Yeah.
So they're all like a little upset that all of the fucking land that they stole is going back to the people of South Africa. Wah. Cry me a fucking river.
And I mean, yeah, it's like they've kind of turned around and said, let's look for a country that has a worse human rights history than what we are.
Yeah.
And let's try and bring those people in here. It's fucking insane. Anyway, and I do think, I don't know what the actual numbers are, but I do know that they're like the white South Africans are a minority over there.
They always
that
have been.
own a
Yep.
majority of the fucking land.
Yeah,
so
and the
these
wealth.
people are not being hardly done by. But anyway.
So Trump's quote was it's a genocide taking place over there. Farmers are being killed. They happen to be white. There's literally no evidence of anything he said. There's no evidence of genocide. There's no evidence of any kind of mass murders. Yes, there's crime in South Africa. It is not what he's saying. This is just fucking bizarre.
You've got to remember, ladies, do not let the truth get in the way of a good story. That has to be our motto from now on.
I mean, it is, again, more just really blatant racism. Blatant and in your face racism. I mean, my own mom was just like, what the fuck is happening? What is happening?
It does concern me a little bit that people are being overwhelmed by all this at the moment, like in terms of they're feeling like that, like we've always said, we're drinking from a fire hose every day.
Yeah.
So just a reminder, keep your head up, keep your eyes open, but don't get too fucking drowned in all of this. Have some fun and
Yeah. I'm going to look for my joy
While
this
he's
week.
taking $400 million planes, the House is having hearings to steal your health care. So eye on the prize, people.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, it's been another fantastic week here in Trumpville, the United States of Trump. I mean, we've renamed the Gulf of Mexico. So, I mean, how long until we rename the whole country? But I'm going to really work on finding a little bit of joy and glimmer this week so that I can stop having nightmares about the zombie apocalypse that we are currently living in.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do that?
Democracy
Adrian?
sausage.
Democracy sausage. Okay, that's now code, I think. I think I'm starting to get the message.
Yeah.
Gina, what are you going to do this week?
I'm just going to take a little time with my family. Like,
Oh, yeah, them too.
we got the
The side of family with your democracy sausage.
Them too.
my Mother's Day gift was my husband setting up our patio, right? You know, my patio, my backyard is my happy place. So the pool is open.
Oh,
It's
shit.
sparkling.
When
it's
are we coming over?
beautiful. Well, it's going to be like 88 on Friday.
Oh, so wait, are we doing a tuna martini lunch and should I bring my bathing suit and a towel?
Ooh.
Now we've just given out our plan.
That's my new plan. Democracy sausage can wait. I'm going to Gina's house to swim in her pool.
I think maybe we should do like frozen daiquiris and frozen margaritas.
Oh,
at the
this is a
pool.
great idea.
Yeah.
love
So
this
I mean,
idea.
that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be swimming my blues away.
I love that. Well, here's
We
to
know
both
what
of
Julie's
you.
doing.
I feel like my plan is obvious.
Yes.
That
Once again,
sparkling
it's
water.
placebo. That's right, placebo effect. It's
That's
starting
gonna
to work
be
already.
I
Julie,
love it.
That's going to be replaced with gin within 24 hours.
She gives it 24 hours. I feel like we need to start a book on that and see how long.
You're
but
right.
anyway.
It should be 18.
Cheers, ladies.
Cheers. See you next Thursday.
Ciao.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of Point of Disorder. We'd like to extend a huge thank you to everyone who listened today. And if you like us, give us a like, a subscribe, or a review on any place you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Distill Social and at The Guerrilla Politic. This is the Point of Disorder podcast, signing off. Stay sharp, stay progressive, and above all, stay tuned.